Hello, hello, hello! What's happening, everybody? MCOC Droid does back again for another video on Marvel Contest of Champions. Well, today is January 2nd. It's Wednesday. It might be January 3rd by the time this goes live, but for now, it is January 2nd, and the brand new Trials of the Elementals side quest just got started today. Real quick rundown. If you remember the Trials of the King, Trials of the Mad Titan, which were the Black Panther and Thanos related events in the last year or so, then you know how these are set up. You pick one of 5 difficulties each day. There are 3 fights in there total, with a certain number of nodes and what have you. Each day has sort of a different theme, and when you're done, you get that day's rewards. So you get some shards, some gold, you get a chance at either ISO or Sig Stones, you get a chance at either premium hero crystal shards or one of the ultimate crystals. But then the extra currency this time around is called Raw Elementals. It's going to be used for a couple of things. Let me actually go, not to the email we got today, or the in-game mail that we got today, but one that they sent out a few days ago, which kind of explains it a little bit better. So, what happens is, again, it's the exact same format as last time. Each day is its own thing. You also get a boost that's only to be used on day 7 when it's going to be harder, but you can run all 5 difficulties instead. And then, like I mentioned, you also have these raw elements that you get. You will earn raw elements, which can be traded in for several items, including elemental crystals, which we'll definitely get to in a second. So you can get them from there. You can get them. There's a special calendar that started yesterday as well, which will reset 4 more times since this is a 5-week event. And you can turn those in for a couple of things. One is for the beacon, which only cost 5 of these raw elementals. I did it. As you can see right here, there's going to be 3 more of these throughout the year of 2019. And when you buy all 4 of them, you get a special selection of profile pick rewards. Okay, nothing fancy. It'd be nice if maybe like you don't have to spend any resources on those. But again, who knows? That's going to be something sometime later on down the year. Probably not until towards the end of the year will we hear more about it. But then the main thing that you can use these raw elementals on are crystals. And there are a lot of crystals that you can use these on. By my count, I'm going to just scroll through all of these right quick. There are 15 different crystals you can use, each with their own cost, with their own limits that you can purchase them on. As you can see right here as an example, the tier 2 unified, it costs 35 and you can only buy it up to 5 times. And then each theme, or whatever you want to call it, each element for these crystals are kind of revolved around different things. So you can see, if I can go back up to the top here, like wind seems to be revolving around just sort of general quest items. Fire is revolving around hero shards. Earth is revolved around catalyst. Water is revolved around like alliance quest, alliance war, potions, revives, things like that. Darkness seems to be revolved around awakening gems, sig stones. Light is units and gold, and then unified seems to just kind of be like a hodgepodge, like 1 item or so from each one, just kind of all combined. I am not going to break down every single one of these crystals because, again, there are 15 of them, and we'd be here forever. So I will just quickly say that, like I said, each crystal has their own purchase limit, cost, item sets. The nice thing is that for every single one of these crystals, they did include the drop rates, which is, a nice touch. Since, as far as I know, you can't spend units to get these crystals unless deals pop up for these raw elementals, which they might. I mean, this is a 5-week event, so I would not be surprised if we saw that there. But the big thing that they don't seem to have are the amounts of what's in the crystal. So like for some of these, it's probably pretty straightforward. Here it says, you get a level 1 revive, boosts, potions, whatever. I would assume each one is going to be 1. So if you pull a level 1 revive, you get one of those. If you pull a level 2 health potion, you get one of those. However, like for this fire crystal, for example, you can get premium 3-star or 4-star shards. but it does not tell you how many. It does not say if there are multiple denominations that you can get within the crystal. Like, can you get either 50 or 100 4-star shards, or is it just literally one size fits all? So I did throw something up on the forums. Hopefully one of the mods will respond. You know, I just asked, like, hey, can you give us a full breakdown on each crystal for how many of each item, shard, frag, whatever, you can pull from these. So hopefully there will be an answer. If there is, I'll do an updated video. But for now, what I'm going to do, and again, to go over every single one of these crystals will take quite a long time. You know I like my long videos, but that would be way too long. So what I'm doing instead is, you guessed it, a spreadsheet. This is just an example right here. The link to the spreadsheet itself will be down in the description below if you care to check it out. I've put in as much information as I know as of right now. So I put the names of all 15 crystals, the cost, the purchase limits, the actual rewards. In terms of the denomination, like I said, for most of this stuff, I did go ahead and put assumed, like you would only get one based on if that is what you pulled. A couple of exceptions, well, really the only exceptions, are these light crystals, where again, you can only get units or gold. There's a tier 1 and a tier 2. As you can see right here, the tier 1 is either 12,500 gold or 10 units. The tier 2 version, which is right here, is obviously a step up. You can get either 100,000 gold or 30 units. So those, they do actually specify the denominations, but everything else is pretty straightforward. Now, I mean, it does say guarantees one of the following items on most of these crystals. However, you know, like for the sig stones, is it literally one sig stone, or is it going to be multiples? Is it the +1, +2, +5, etc., etc.? So hopefully I will get some clarity. Well, hopefully we'll all get some clarity, and I'll be able to do an updated version of this video. But if nothing else, I would do an updated, I would keep the spreadsheet up to date and just continue to post it and spread it around so that everybody can see exactly what you can get. Now, lastly, the only other thing I want to talk about is the max elements you can earn. And again, this is probably going to go up on the 3rd. So after this first day has probably wrapped up or close to it. So unfortunately, there's only so much you can do. But let me go ahead and actually move it a bit over. And let's make it larger just so we can focus on this only. So to recap, the format of this event, for those who don't remember from events past. So as I mentioned, on days 1 through 6, you only get to pick one difficulty. So if you pick epic and it's too much and you have to back out, unfortunately, that's it. If you quit out of it, if the time expires, whatever it is, you don't get a refund on the entry ticket, whatever you want to call it. You don't get the rewards or whatever, so make sure you're always ready to go based on if you're picking a particularly difficult difficulty, because that's good English. But the point is, you only get one entry on days 1 through day 6. On day 7, you do get to run all 5 difficulties. That is the one exception. So as I said, this is going to be a 5-week long event. Let me actually make it even a little bit bigger, because why not? So to recap there, I just did it on epic because that's what I'll be running every single day. Of course, these numbers will vary if you choose to do, you know, beginner, normal, heroic, master, etc., etc. But presuming you're running epic every single day for all 5 weeks, for all days 1 through 6, and then on day 7, you're running all 5 difficulties for all 5 weeks. As you can see there, running epic is going to be 210 elementals total. So that's, you get 7 a day for each run of epic, times 6 days, times 5 weeks. So that's 210 right there. Again, on day 7, you can run all 5 difficulties. So if you do, that adds up to 26. Multiply that again by 5 weeks. That's 130. And then lastly, as I mentioned, let me pull this away for a second. There is the weekly or the daily calendar, the login calendar, that gives you some extra elementals. And it has said that it will run for all 5 weeks. So presuming that the calendar is exactly the same every single week, that's 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 2 + 2 + 2, which is 10. And then, of course, for 5 weeks, that makes 50. So you have a grand total of 390 elements to use if you run the max difficulty every single day for all 5 weeks. And then, as I mentioned, on day 7, you run all 5 difficulties for all 5 weeks. So, you know, there's definitely some opportunity to get some decent rewards if you do that. Again, if you look at some of the tier 2 versions, particularly of, you know, say like the darkness one here, you know, that's 30 each. You could buy it 5 times. You could get, you know, based on where you're at, you can get a 4-star awakening gem, some 4 or 5-star sig stones. Tier 3 unified, there seems to only be one tier 3 one, and that's this one right here. This is basically the cream of the crop. And again, that's 75, which is of course the most expensive, and you can buy that 5 times. So that's 375 elementals, which of course is basically everything you got. That would leave you with a whopping 15 elementals left over. But as you can see here, it's got the best rewards. Again, how many of each? I have no idea as of the recording of this video. But you can get 6-star shards, tier 5 basic frags, tier 2 alpha frags, or 5-star shards. That's it. That's all that comes in this crystal. So it's pretty much a win no matter what, based on how many of each it is. So again, hopefully we'll be able to get that information and I can provide it to you. But for now, again, this spreadsheet will be up to date as much as possible. The link will be down in the description below. So anyway, that is going to wrap it up for this video because, again, to go over every single crystal, we'd be here for quite a while. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you going to be running these every single day? What kinds of crystals are you going to be going for? What kinds of items are you going to be going for? Definitely curious to know. And again, feel free to spread that spreadsheet around to whoever you like, friends, alliance mates, etc., etc. I will keep you all posted if I find out any more information, and will make sure to share it with you all. If you're not already a subscriber, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to ring the bell so you get notified whenever I go live or new content gets added to the channel. Aside from that, thank you everybody for watching. Take care, and I will see you next time.